Good late Sunday afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Sam Samperi in the Fox 61 Weather Center. Here we go again. Big winter storm. It's the blizzard of 2026. Heavy snow. We're expecting 1 to 2 feet. Poor travel, blowing and drifting of snow, gusts of 40 to 55 miles per hour. Chance for outages, and I'll tell you, this storm means business. Minor to moderate coastal flooding, especially during early Monday morning during the high tide cycle. How much snow are we forecasting? Everybody wants to know that, of course. So generally, we're forecasting 12 to 20 inches for most of Connecticut. Of course, there's always a couple outliers. There could be a town or two in the Litchfield Hills that could get 21 maybe, but more importantly, it's eastern Connecticut and all of eastern New England, Rhode Island. They are going to get clobbered with 18 to 24 inches, and they can have wind gusts of tropical storm, maybe hurricane force winds. This storm means business. It is major. It's already starting to develop now at 5:01 Sunday afternoon. And so again, it's now already seeing some snow in southern Connecticut in the next hour or two. And that snow will come down at a rate of 2 to 3 inches an hour between 2 a.m. and 10 a.m. And we'll have winds, the worst of it, 4 a.m. to noon. And of course, 3 to 6 o'clock when the snow will come to an end. So again, the start time, the worst part, and the ending. It's still on schedule. Look at this. Blizzard warnings have now been expanded all the way up into northern Connecticut. And you can see it's in effect now until 6 o'clock p.m. And there's even some talk about 7 a.m. into Tuesday morning up in northeastern Connecticut. But for now, for most of the state, that warning is at least until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Now also, the other impact, of course, the coastal floods. Minor to moderate flooding, 1.5 to 2.5 feet inundation during the high tide cycle. Timing, and again, we've been talking about it, so it's starting now. It's already snowing down in southern Connecticut, and it's starting to get into the Hartford area in the next couple of hours. Meanwhile, let's look at live Doppler. And sometimes you can see Doppler in northern Connecticut where, you might not see any snow, but, throughout most of the day, we've been seeing some light snow flurries, but now that steadier snow really starting to pick up in southwestern Connecticut, and we're starting to see that band of light, steady snow moving into central Connecticut. Let's take a look at live Doppler down across parts of southern Connecticut, and again, this is more of a closer inspection of what's going on here, and you can see how we're starting to see that steady snow coming up from the south and spinning backwards, east to west. That is a sign that this storm is really already starting to intensify. Well, where is it? Right now, it's right off the Virginia, North Carolina coastline. Visible satellite showing unbelievable, an eye ring, upper level low right here, and it's all starting to come together. And this system is going to bomb out. We call it bombogenesis, rapid cyclogenesis, which is a rapidly intensifying storm. Temperatures right now, 26 in Winstead, so we're down below freezing in northern Connecticut, even down along the shoreline. It's a kind of atmosphere that once it gets snowing, the temperatures will drop a couple of degrees. Now, it will not be as cold as our big storm January 26th. Doesn't matter. This storm means business. So here it is. 8 o'clock, it's snowing everywhere at a pretty good pace. And then moderate to heavy bands. You can almost make it out with the dark blue shades here. And it just comes on up hour after hour. Here we are at 6 o'clock in the morning. Still snowing very heavily. So here's a little bit of dry slot right here down the Connecticut River Valley. It's a shadow effect. And a lot of times when you get a big winter storm, this blizzard coming up, and the one back in 1978. Bradley International Airport only got 17 inches, while parts of northwestern and northeastern Connecticut, especially northeastern Connecticut, got 2 feet of snow. It's the same idea. The blizzard's a 78, okay? It's gonna come close. This blizzard's gonna come close for folks in the Cape Cod area, Rhode Island, Boston, Plymouth, Massachusetts, all that area, that'll be more the blizzard is 78. For us, it won't be quite as bad, but regardless, it's going to be bad during tonight and into the first part of tomorrow. It's still snowing across the region during the afternoon, but it's lightened up quite a bit. And there could be areas where you don't see here right now not much going on, but really you'll have some light snow blowing around. And hopefully everything will come to an end 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow evening for everybody, even across eastern Connecticut as we start to dry out. How much snow? 12 to 20 inches. Right up here, it's thinking maybe 9, 10 inches. Again, with that little dry slot trying to come in down the Connecticut River Valley. And that happens, again, quite often. So we'll have to see, and also have to watch where you get heavy banding. Sometimes you could get a band coming up, and it kind of sits there. So some towns can get 20, 22 inches. Other towns can get 16. So that's how these storms work. And, of course, in eastern Connecticut, 18 to 24 inches. Here's the snowfall rates on the order of 1 to 2 inches an hour as we go into the overnight and early morning hours. And you can see that by 5 in the morning, still snowing. And then it tries to line up. You notice here? Now, don't take this verbatim. This is going to change, and you're still going to have some snow flying in the air tomorrow morning, believe me. But the point is that by the time we get to noontime, that's when the worst will be over. And you can see at 5 o'clock, basically the snow is tapering off across everybody here in Connecticut. How much snowfall? So here's a computer model generated forecast. And, you know, here's the idea here. You see 12 inches in Hartford by 11 o'clock, 15, 19 inches in Waterbury. Here it is at 2 o'clock. Look at Enfield, only 9.4. So again, that's that little bit of dry air, a little shadow effect. And then here we go to Killingly. You have 20 inches, 22 inches by about 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So again, the idea is higher amounts across the western hills and the eastern hills with the least amounts down the Connecticut River Valley. You know, with this kind of a storm, it doesn't matter whether you get 10 inches, 12 inches, or 20 inches because of just the very bad impacts with this system, with the gusty winds, the power outages. And the other thing too, heavy wet snow too, especially along the coastline in southeastern Connecticut. Again, outages very possible now, it's probable. And the worst of it, again, will be tonight into tomorrow morning. It's moderate here in Connecticut. It could be a whole lot worse just to the south and east of us with winds 40 to 55 miles per hour. And we'll have that snow going on, and the worst of it again, 3 a.m. to 12 tomorrow at noon. Here's the wind gusts, and you can see winds gusting 40 to 55 miles per hour. Look at Groton, New London, New Haven, Bridgeport up to 50 miles per hour. You wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to see a whiteout, and just stay home and be safe. You can't go anywhere tomorrow. And you'll see future wind gusts into Monday midday about 45 to 50, and we'll keep those winds cranking all through the afternoon. So even when the snow stops, you're going to have blowing and drifting around of that snow all over the place here in Connecticut. And again, the winter storm intensity is major to almost extreme. You have Providence down across Long Island. So this storm, major impacts here. So it's just really helpful for everybody just to stay home now that the snow is starting this evening. And, you know, this may even take a couple of days to clean up. Again, these storm impacts very high with the heavy snow, travel disruption, basically severe. In other words, stay home. Wind damage, power outages, that could be an issue, and nothing in the way of icing. The last storm we had some sleet mixing back on January 26th in parts of Connecticut, even in inland areas. Not this one. This one is a classic track to give us all snow. And again, the heaviest and the worst part is from midnight, 6 a.m. to noon, and then it starts to lighten up a little bit. So, blizzard warnings. The last time we had a full blizzard here in Connecticut statewide was basically 2017. Down along southern Connecticut in 2018, South Central had a blizzard, and then 2022 right here in the Groton, New London area, where that winter, yeah, we didn't have a lot of snow, but that one big storm has clipped eastern Connecticut. So the blizzard definition, we talk about it all the time. Sustained winds at 35 miles per hour, or frequent wind gusts. Visibility, of course, below a quarter mile. Whiteout conditions near zero. 3 straight consecutive hours. And of course, Groton and London did that in 2022. We had 8 consecutive hours of those kind of conditions. This is the Great Blizzard of 1978, February 6th, 7th. I was a teenager, was all excited, having school canceled, and we ended up having a 2-day snowstorm. Now, that's the kind of day where the state was shut. That was the kind of storm the state was shut down for 2 days. We didn't have school for the whole week. But look at Bradley, 17 inches, 19 inches in Hartford, but the western and eastern hills got 24 inches of snow. So it's the same idea where we're going to get a little dry air entrainment, but it'll be northeastern areas. You know, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Boston area gets, 30, 35 inches of snow, or down somebody in that area. So it's the kind of storm. It looks like it. It reminds me of it a little bit, but no two storms are perfectly the same. There's always something about them, and that's what makes it so challenging here in Connecticut. So bombogenesis, pressure has to drop for at least 24 millibars in 24 hours, and there are signs where this is already happening, and it's going to be even worse. And when this thing bombs out, that's it. And that's why we're going to have these blizzard conditions begin pretty shortly. Look at this, a 967 millibar. You're talking hurricane strength conditions here, hurricane strength winds, hurricane strength pressure drop down to 967 millibar. That's what it's forecasted to be by 6 o'clock. One thing that is going to keep us from being really crippled here is the system's going to keep moving. It's not going to stall. That's the other difference. The blizzard of 78 stalled, so we had 2 days. Came up, it did a loop-de-loop, went back towards the Jersey coast, and the next day it came up, and all of a sudden, what's going on? We had another additional 6 to 8 inches of snow in the afternoon. This is not going to do that. This is going to keep moving tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. It's slow, right now it's intensifying, so it's slow. Things are slow, but once it gets cranking, that's really going to save us right now. Your Fox 61 7-day forecast. And you can see that, it's going to be cold and windy on Tuesday, a little lull, but we could have a little bit more snow shower activity Wednesday and the Thursday, maybe a little thaw by the weekend. Everyone be safe, and we'll have more updates coming up at 6.